Our strategy envisions multifold. At its core, we want to be a 22,000 person startup. So we want to operate more like a startup. We want our staff to inspire to do their career's best work and to be digital bankers. Obviously, from a business perspective, we want to attract, transact, engage and recommend on the digital platform. We want our clients to move more onto the digital, and that's how we think about segmenting our business. We segment the digital platform into attract, transact, engage and recommend as well. But people think digital is just about technology. For us, it's about the people. We need digital bankers. We need people who are educated and inspired to deliver on our digital promise. Yes, culture of innovation has been incredibly challenging, especially in the finance industry. We have quite a different innovation group. So the group I run, we never invent anything. We don't have bankers and we don't have technology people. We have people from all walks of life, from sales to advertising to industrial design. The people responsible for innovation are the entire staff base. And it's our job as an innovation group to give them the education, the inspiration, run the workshops, connect them up with startups, build out ecosystems. But essentially, innovation for me is about finding the right problem and solving it in an elegant and creative way that has an outcome. And it's the business who have the problems, and it's the business staff who should be solving it, and it's the business who execute the solution. And so for us, everyone in the bank is in the business of innovation. I think the most exciting trend at the moment for me is some people call it kind of open banking, some people call it platform banking, but for other people outside of the finance industry, essentially you can see a point coming where every single company can make money from finance. So we're seeing airports who are selling travel insurance. We're seeing, water utility providers who are selling, doing business loans. Obviously, we're seeing the traditional providers, the traditional kind of disruptors like the fintech are starting to get a bit more traction, but it's really the leaders in the digital space, the Alibabas and the Tencent in this region, which are moving very rapidly. And so I particularly like the fact that we've released the largest banking API platform on the planet, 155 APIs, but we weren't focused on the technology. We were very much focused on the new business models, distribution models, and the new data that we can get through those partnerships. We've got big partners like McDonald's, all the way through to small startups like Socash, everyone else in between. We launched with 50 partners. Also, we've done a lot of work with social enterprise like Homage as well, for our clients to use their credit card rewards to buy services for their elderly relatives. But that's it, this whole move towards banking as a service. And ideally, what I'd like to see is 250,000 people focused on making DBS successful. So 10%, 10 times our staff base outside the bank making it successful, which is very much how these big platform companies like Microsoft and Google operate as well. Evolve, devolve, revolve. I think there's a lot of options. Obviously, APAC has got some of the most mature banks on the planet, and obviously some of the kind of lagging banks on the planet in the same place. It's very difficult to put a lens across all of those. I think some certain trends, if you take out Australia and Singapore, that makes it a bit easier. So we're seeing a lot of people at the bottom end moving into finance, and they're either doing that through standard banking in many regards, some are doing that through fintech, some are doing that through telco, services around wallets. You're seeing people who've already got bank accounts moving towards middle income, and so they're starting to move into the wealth. In APAC, we have a huge amount of younger wealth clients as well. And in APAC as well, I feel that almost everyone's a small business. There's a huge amount of small businesses who are powering the economies of these countries as well. So you're seeing that kind of crossover with small business people using their consumer accounts and vice versa. So there are some there's some trends which are global around the branches. Is there less branches? Is there more branches? Some countries still, need branches because they haven't had a lot. Some countries have huge geographical challenges. Did you know that there's a bank in Indonesia who have a bank branch on a boat? Because Indonesia's, I can't remember the amount of islands, but it's roughly about, 20 to 50,000 islands. And the branch boat turns up at the island every week. And so there are some geographical challenges around branches. There's still some challenges around connectivity as well, and internet in some of these remote areas. But there is some big non-finance players moving into the finance industry. Like here in Singapore, Grab's just announced that they're doing in-store payments, for example, using QR codes. So it's a very, very exciting place to be in finance in ASEAN at the moment, consumer banking especially so. But I think it's a general trend. I'm not sure if I'm right or wrong, but I feel that, payments may end up in the domain of the large tech companies. And I think it's a bank's role to work out, what value-added services can they add on the payment infrastructure, and how can we use payments, which I feel that will start to drive towards a free payments model. How can we use that then to drive our other businesses like lending and wealth?